Well, ladies and gentlemen, we head to our Group 3 for the night. It is the Dubai Millennium Stakes. Field of 7 runners taking to the track here.
He's got more than one representative in this race, but Phoenix, a massive player. Of course, he's now the man with the licence, taking over from legendary father Alan. So we'll see. He said you can't stand still, and they won't want to do that. Phoenix is unbeaten, but so too is the Nathaniel mare at the bottom, Meg, who 2 starts, 2 wins, a year apart for Realm.
Yeah, returning in pretty good fashion over the 2,200 metres. So we know that she stays, and she's been impressive. Look, she's tall, she's raw, the time will have done her no harm whatsoever. She now is stepping up in grade, and she lacks a bit of experience against a few of her rivals, but you can't help but be impressed with what she's done so far in a small, short career. Unbeaten, and I think it's fair to say on her return this year was even more impressive than on her debut, and she's every reason to step forward from that once again. So she has to be of interest. Tom McQuan booked to ride. Connections have 2 in this race, but I thought that this filly was the one, or this mare I should say, is the one that I would be most interested in.
Okay, we've talked about some of the leading players. Galatia, last year's winner. Phoenix, unbeaten. Realm, unbeaten as well. I'm going to pitch one at you, and this is one that I think will run well. It's the top horse, California. It was 3rd to Galatia last time, having been on a real winning run prior. It was 3rd in the King's Cup last year, won the first 2 of last season as well. And at this point last year, California was on a real roll. I wouldn't underestimate.
No, I agree with you. That form is obviously tying in well with Galatia, isn't it? And he has got to reverse it by quite a few lengths, and I suppose the weight difference is quite telling as well. But he's a very consistent horse. He very rarely lets you down. I think that this trip, could it just stretch him? He's not slow. He has got a bit of speed, and maybe that is where he's a bit vulnerable, is in the last 200 metres where his stamina slightly just runs out for me. I don't doubt that he's got plenty of ability, but I just think he might be more effective slightly down in distance in comparison to Galatia, the mare, who does stay extremely well.
So she hits that turbo at the end of the race when perhaps others have cried enough. We are 1 minute exactly from post time for race 7, which is the 3rd and final. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince's Cup after the Purebred Arabians, the very much established horses, the class acts that we saw in our previous race. This is for the domestic runners. Very good horses they are as well. And one thing's for sure, they've been good and prompt. I don't want to put the mockers on it, Meg, but across the 2 days, really, they've been good and prompt with their loading processes. Getting in at reasonable intervals, big fields yesterday, nice and prompt. It's what you want to see. Yeah,
they've been... you know, the stalls team have been on absolute fire this week, that's for sure. Sort of unsung heroes, aren't they? But all the horses have been loaded sharply. We've had plenty of fair starts, no one being left in the stalls, really. So, you know, it has been good. Plenty of credit to the team. The horses have all been well behaved, and it looks like they're doing exactly that. So they are loading pretty quickly down there for the Crown Prince's Cup.
Right, half a dozen to go forward. Here's Darren.
Runners moving up into the starting stalls now for His Royal Highness Crown Prince's Cup, this domestic Grade 1. It's as though his arm was rather reluctant to join them down at the start, has been blindfolded for some time. Loading up well underway. Galatia, His Arm, Realm, Jabara and Sinjar are the ones we're waiting on. The one we're looking at there is His Arm, who was led to the start. So His Arm with the blindfold, 2,000 metre start, almost there. Jabara going in, so Sinjar and Realm are the 2 we're waiting on for this His Royal Highness the Crown Prince's Cup, sponsored by Sabaco, for the locally bred thoroughbreds. Realm has gone in, they're ready. And they're off, running over 2,000 metres. And one of the first ones away was Meydan in the centre, with Mediterranean Moon right there with the leaders. So too Jerusalema. The grey Mudalal is about 4 or 5 wide as they go into the first turn. The one driven on the extreme out in the light blue cap is Sinjar to get a prominent role, and Hercules is also well to the fore. Whilst that action unfolds up front, the last two are California and Jabara. So they swing to go down the far side, and it is his arm on the inside of Sinjar. Jerusalema is just in behind them. Hercules posted 4 wide. Leaders are followed by the unbeaten Phoenix. Then the dark blue jacket of Midal, Mediterranean Moon and Mudalal follow. Realm is towards the back end now, just being passed by California. Galatia has got Jabara behind. They continue their progress down the far side to the final 1,000 metres, and it is his arm on the inside of Jerusalema, with Hercules still wide in the purple jacket. Leaders followed by Phoenix and Midhal. Then Sinjar was driven early. California gradually getting closer. Mudalal and Mediterranean Moon are next, followed by Realm. Galatia in the light blue jacket just being shaken up there, and is a few lengths clear of Jabara. So they're on the run now to the last 600 metres, and it is his arm on the inside of Jerusalema, Hercules, and Phoenix is just in behind them. They're followed by Midal as they make the homeward turn. California, brown sleeves, and now beginning to wind up is Galatia, but still has work to do. Realm is closing in, 400 metres left to go, and it is Midal who takes over. Galatia and Realm are coming with big efforts into the last 300 metres. Realm, last year's winner, Galatia to the outside, and then back in third is Midal, and it is Realm from Galatia, and Realm's got the lead. Galatia's heart will be broken by Realm, who looked exciting last time and is exciting. Realm the winner, Galatia second, Midal third, close fourth, maybe just Phoenix ahead of California. So it's Realm, the winner. Tom Marquand aboard Realm. She's unbeaten, 3 from 3 for this mare by Nathaniel. She won in January of last year, had 12 months off, returned to action a few weeks ago with a very comfortable win, and she's really stepped up here with this big win in the Crown Prince's Cup, a domestic Grade 1, and she's beaten Galatia. So if ever you needed a solid, reliable local yardstick, you've got it in Galatia. So that's top form. Realm the winner, Galatia second. Midhal has got third place and was followed in fourth position by Phoenix. So 13 Realm is the winner, 10 Galatia second, 6 Midhal third, and the fourth place horse was number 9 Phoenix. Realm the winner, 3 from 3 now, and the winner of the Crown Prince's Cup.
Goodness me, a new star. That was impressive. Realm, unbeaten, perfect 3 from 3. This is the first time we've seen her put races together back to back within the space of weeks rather than a year. She's bred to stay very, very well. Nathaniel out of a Golden Horn mare. She's already got the 2200, and she's absolutely flown at the end of the 2000 metres to beat the right horses and beat them comprehensively.
Yeah, look, that was a very impressive performance, wasn't it? She still shows a little bit of immaturity, but the engine is huge. And when she's hit the front, she's ran around a little bit and got a bit lonely. But my word, she put distance between herself and the field with ease. I think this is a pretty talented mare. Yeah. She's really romped home. I mean, she's beaten a strong field, and Glacier, we know, is such a solid performer. She's come to win her race, but Realm is the one that really quick and clear. A bit of an ear prick there as well. I think there's more in the tank. She's talented. Yeah, second win for the Connections after the brilliant Zeal earlier. This one was really impressive. Let's get back to Ali.
Very nice spare ride to pick up, Tom.
Yeah, very. Look, she's obviously had a real good start to her racing career so far, and tonight was her biggest test. We had a nice gallop to aim at, but I was really impressed with the way she picked up through them and went and ran down the leader going into the last sort of furlong and a half. She stays really well. She'll stay further. Obviously, she's shown that already, but she's not a slow filly and she loves the ground. I'd say she's only just getting to grips with really what her job is, which is exciting for the team.
Yeah, just her third start. And when you pushed the button, she really showed a bit of turn of foot as well.
Yeah, she did. She's not bred to be fast, but up over these staying distances, she's got a good turn of foot, like you say, so hopefully she can utilise that as her weapon.
A nice big win again. Yesterday you took one of the Turf Series races, and just nice to fly into Bahrain and take some big races.
Yeah, absolutely. A good chance of getting one more in with South China Sea in the next, so be great to end on a winner.
Well done with Realm then, winning the Crown Prince's Cup for Bahrain.
This is the first runner at the Dubai Racing Carnival for trainer Gerard Keane. His Crystal Black has been given the best turned out. Congratulations to the groom Bilal Ahmed, who's being presented by Mr. Ali Essa once again with 650 dirhams for having Crystal Black so well turned out ahead of our feature race of meeting 10 of the Dubai Racing Carnival. Thank you very much to Mr. Ali Essa, and well done to Bilal Ahmed. Good to catch up with Dr. Jim Hay, who has two in here. We are hearing, though, one of them, number 3, Chiviti, is undergoing a vet check down at the start. So we will bring you any news as and when we know it ahead of our Dubai Millennium Stakes. It's the Group 3 on the card. It's presented by DP World, and it's over 2,000 metres. This is a unbelievable record. Runnings have gone the way of Charlie, of course of Godolphin as well. William Buick has been on for 6 of them. It was only Zarak, a very good horse in his own right, who was able to snap that. That was a year Charlie didn't even have a runner. Saïd bin Sarour's promising run. It was an excellent filly out here. She was only 3rd to Zarak, and the domination felt like it could have ended well. Then Charlie Appleby roared back in. He's won it with some lovely horses, the likes of Gaiath in 2020. This can be a launch pad to a serious horse. That could be the way for By the Book. The choice of William Buick for Charlie Appleby and Godolphin. His run on Festive Friday over 2,400 metres suggested he was potentially out of the top draw. As you can see on the screen, he is both myself and Pat Comerford's pick. He's hard to go against. We are hearing number 3, Chibiti, has passed the bet check and will be good to race. Good to have him involved as well. New signing for the team. Richie Mullen riding. David Simcock, first time that he's raced this son of Zelzal. And has some nice form in France. It'll be interesting to see what he is able to offer first up after 96 days off. For George, only 21 days off for him. He was second over 1,800 metres here. He steps up marginally in trip and up in class. A mention for Crystal Black, who gave Gerard Keane a new lease of life, according to son Colin, who is on. He won the Duke of Edinburgh Stakes. He then won a Group 3 off the back of that. That was over 1.5 miles as well. That was the Ballyrowan Stakes at Leopardstown. And then they were thinking of things like the Melbourne Cup. Things haven't worked out that way. He probably said 1.6 miles or 2,800 metres wasn't his bag in the Irish St Ledger last year. But that's good form. He's starting off his season after 138 days off. I'd imagine races like the Dubai City of Gold on Emirates Super Saturday could be well in their thinking, as it could be for By the Book and potentially Arabian Light, who's done nothing wrong over 10 furlongs. Billy Loughnane riding for Charlie Appleby. We brought you that stat earlier, a 50% strike rate when riding in the UK, but they're looking to be able to get off the mark together in the UAE. Crystal Black, just a little nervy down at the start, but he is loaded safe and sound now. Pace-wise, this is going to be interesting. By the Book and Arabian Light both would like a lead. I think it's probably the filly Missive Change for Miroslav Nishlanik in the colours of Dr. Ava Nishlanikova, who probably will make the running. And I'd imagine William Buick will have By the Book in the perfect spot, assuming he breaks nicely. It's our feature race of the evening, the Group 3 Dubai Millennium Stakes. Let's get up to Pat.
A couple more to come forward here for the 700,000 dirham feature. Here is Chibiti, passing fit to start here at the starting stalls. The field of 7 are ready for the Dubai Millennium Stakes for 2026, and away they go. Miss of Change caught it to a flyer and will head to the lead early. As expected on the map, Fort George works forward as well to sit outside. By the Book's going to spot up on the running rail here. Al Mudhar getting fizzed up in between them also. Pace is good early. A length and a half back to Crystal Black, followed there by Arabian Light. And at the back of the field here as they continue on is Chibiti. So taking over the lead as they work down the back of the course here. Up on the outside is Fort George. Goes up to match Motors with Miss of Change. And these two are in their each other's eye line. 2.5.
Performance and
Taken along by Carlos Enrique. The inside was Chibiti working through on the inside. Arabian Light next, and Crystal Black is trying to avoid a few runners here, but caught in a precarious position on the inside of runners. 600 metres left to go in the Dubai Millennium Stakes, and it's Miss of Change who is still leading them, but up on the outside now, Fort George comes up to retake the lead again. Chibiti in behind them from By the Book. Deeper out Arabian Light. Crystal Black, Al Mudhar is going to run along last here. Up in front is Fort George, the leader. Arabian Light and By the Book trying to peg away the margin at the moment. It's Fort George in front. Arabian Light the danger. By the Book won't win. It's up on the inside. Fort George still with the lead. Arabian Light though, what to the wide outside, wanting to lay right out here in the straight. They come to the line together. Fort George kicks back. Fort George maybe. Oh, that is an absolute rip snorter of a finish. Fort George has made it interesting with Arabian Light. Then came By the Book. Next over was Chibiti. From next there across was Crystal Black. Then came Miss of Change and Al Mudhar. This looked all over. Arabian Light looked to come clear and win it. Fort George has come back at the line. Photo finish, and I'm staying out of this one. Judge, you can have that. Fort George has thrown the head down right where he needed to. And we await the photo. And Fort George wins it. Fort George has thrown the head back right where he needed to and noses out Arabian Light. Fort George, number 5, gets it from the 2 Arabian Light, 1 By the Book. Oh, that's an absolute thrilling finish in the Dubai Millennium Stakes. Fort George take a bow. And Kieran Schumacher picks up another for the season. Winner's time, 2:01.29. Second ran the same time. That's how close it was.
It was heads up, heads down in the feature, and Fort George, who stayed straight and true, has got the head down where it mattered. Arabian Light has hung his chance away, not looking the most straightforward under Billy Loughnane, who had his whip in his right hand. But Arabian Light has done a bit of a swain in that Breeders' Cup Classic all those years ago. He's gone right over to the near side. I couldn't believe my eyes to see how deep he was on the track. And it looked like he might have had him, but Fort George kicked back. Well done, Pat Comerford. As they crossed the line, you reckon, Fort George? Well, you've been rewarded, as have Dr. Jim and Mrs. Featree. Ed Walker and Kieran Schumacher teaming up with another win at the Dubai Racing Carnival, with Northern Champion taking the Jumeirah Stakes form that we saw on offer earlier. A remarkable race. By the Book has been disappointing in behind. He was seemingly well enough placed under William Buick off a gallop that looked honest all the way through. This was a proper test at the trip. And Kieran Schumacher, who came out here to become retained rider to Abubakar Kodora, he's been able to ride some European horses he knows well as well. And he'd run a fine trial over 1,800 metres last time behind Mothercombe. On the far side, Fort George has got the nose down where it mattered. It's been a thriller in the Dubai Millennium. And Godolphin, who usually have a stranglehold on the race, they have been denied this year. Second and third for the Royal Blue. But it is the pink with green V and on the sleeves of Fort George, son of Territories, who's taken the Dubai Millennium in a thriller. It's been a winter that has been good to Kieran Schumacher. He's riding in red-hot form, and something of an interesting jockey position that you've taken up over here. You've been able to ride for old friends as well. Well done, Kieran.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, in fairness now, Ed Walker's sent 2 horses over here, and they're both winners. I must give a shout out to Eloise, who's been looking after both horses since they've been over, and she's just been doing a fabulous job, and she's so passionate about her job over here, and credit to her really, and to the horses. He's really improved, he's thrived since he's been over here, and yeah, I'm thrilled really. It's going really well. It's a big team effort, and everyone deserves a bit of credit really.
Talk to me about your trip. It looked like it was straightforward from the get-go.
Yeah, so we thought we would change it up a little bit this time. Over the 9 furlongs last time out, he's got a bit of a habit of being slowly out the gates, and I found myself a row further back than ideal last time, and he was staying on the whole time. Upton trip today, he actually jumped the gates well, and the plan was always to try and slide forward. I felt like we had control of the race, through the majority of it, and he showed a willing attitude inside the last furlong, because we weren't just headed. I suspect the eventual second probably went 3/4 of a length up on us, but he battled well. Did you think you had it? I was unsure really. The pony riders down the back assured me that I had, so that was reassuring.
What is he? Is he a stone-hard 2,000-metre horse over this kind of test, or is there the potential to mix it up a bit?
I think he can step up and trip again. He's got a laid-back way of going, great constitution. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he did get a bit further, but he's pretty versatile.
Well done, Kieran.
Thank you.
And correct weight is given in the Dubai Millennium Stakes, 5-2-1-3. 5-2-1-3. Fort Georgia winner, 201.29. Margins a nose by 5 1/4. Correct weight, race 6.
For the Bahrain Derby of 2026, which will bring down the curtain on the 2-day Crown Prince's Cup Festival, Barak will be one of the most popular selectors, I'm sure. Neil Callan takes the ride. Cosmic Power, Benoit de la Sayette, who sits pretty in second in the Jockeys' Championship. 3 is Dick Dastardly. 4 is Istanbul. 5 is South China Sea, Tom Marquand. And Stefan Lejage takes the ride aboard Tomahawk, the maiden, after 6 starts. They are the 6 runners for the 2,000-metre Bahrain Derby. Darren Owen.
So let's have a look at the classic contenders, the runners in the parade ring then for the Bahrain Derby, our final race of this wonderful two-day meeting. It's over 2,000 metres, and we have a field of 6 to look at. So let's take a look at number 1. Barak was second to Phoenix last time. Didn't get the rub of the green, to say the least. That was Barak's only defeat so far. Winner of 2 races. Number 1, a leading contender, Barak. Number 2 is Cosmic Power, one of 3 representatives for Team Kubler. Benoit de la Sayette is in the saddle, was a winner last spring over 1,000 metres. That's Cosmic Power up in trip here, 2,000 metres. Moving on to 3, stable companion. Sorry, this is trained by Paul Smith. This is Dick Dastardly. Lee Newman is aboard Dick Dastardly. Now, this horse did notch up a sequence of wins, 2 wins on the bounce in October and November. Last time was behind stable companion Phoenix, beaten 5.5 lengths. 5 is South China Sea. Looking at the international markets earlier on, it was between South China Sea and Barak. South China Sea was just shading favouritism. This horse is the perfect 2 from 2 this winter, again climbing up in distance, but won well last time, won comfortably last time. And 6 is Tomahawk for Fauzi Nas and Stefan Lejau. Still a maiden Tomahawk. The last run from Tomahawk was last week, over 2,400, but was well held in the race, won by Al Yatin. And there is number 4, Istanbul. So along with South China Sea and Cosmic Power, trained by Daniel and Claire Kubler, Ibrahim Nada is aboard Istanbul, who won earlier on this month by 3/4 length over this trip of 2,000 metres.
Crown Prince's Cups, perhaps a slight delay for our last race, which gives us plenty of opportunity to talk about it. Who's the first horse you'd like to talk about, Megan?
I think we've got to start with South China Sea, haven't we? One of, as you say, 3 for Dan and Claire Kubler, Al Adiyat Racing. Now, Tom Marquand is in the saddle this evening, and this horse has been in pretty good form, hasn't he, since returning this year? He's 2 from 2. Stepping up in trip now to the 2,000, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. No. If anything, you'd think it may unlock further improvement. Tom Marquand was pretty positive about his chances for this last race this evening, and you know, he's going to be on a high, having just ridden a winner as well. And we've seen plenty of jockeys with multiple winners across this sort of festival, and Tom Marquand will be hoping he'll be able to get another one. And it was a quick turnaround, as we say. He's managed to really quickly get out, but it's one thing's for sure, South China Sea is not going to be going anywhere without his jockey. A strong colt who looks like he's only progressing with age and maturing, isn't he? But
and the extra 400 metres today, that would look a positive to my mind,
I think it is. I think so. You know, the way he's physically developing would suggest that now he's strong enough to go up to that extra distance, and we could find more improvement in him.
So what a 3 for Al Adia Racing. That is South China Sea with Tom Marquand going out. I watched back the performance of Barak, who lost his unbeaten record last time when finishing second in a remote second to Phoenix, who ironically enough lost his unbeaten record in our previous race. Darren said the horse was unlucky. He was quite right to point that out, because the door got firmly shut on him over on the far side rail. Maybe he lacked the pace that Phoenix had, but he was a bit unlucky not to get a clear run.
Yeah, I think Barak is going to be our last horse to go down to the start by the looks of things.
Yes.
But he's... Yeah, I don't disagree with you. The form, I suppose now we're going to be slightly questioning, with Phoenix being well held in our previous race. But with a smoother passage through, with that extra distance, could that be a help? Now, officially on ratings, he is the one to beat.
Yes.
But I suppose he has been slightly exposed, having been beaten last time. But he is going to be hoping for a bit more luck in running this time around.
He's the one to be on ratings, as you quite rightly say, and it's one of the top 2 in the market, along with South China Sea, who has 2 stablemates in this, those being Istanbul and Cosmic Power. Does anything else stand out as a profile going into this, or worthy of significant mention, perhaps?
Well, I think Istanbul we need to discuss.
Yeah.
His form is a little bit in and out, but his win, or most recent one, well, his only win, I should say, did come over this trip. Last time he stepped back down to the 1800, and albeit he didn't really fire, stepping back up to the 2000, his winning distance, maybe he's the one that could bounce back. I just sort of felt like last time I was a bit disappointed. Maybe it wasn't him at his very best, but it was quite a quick turnaround on the back of that victory. Maybe it just came too soon. He's been given a couple of weeks to freshen back up. And Istanbul, the son of Golden Horn, maybe he's the one of the field that could just bounce back.
So to the top horse, Barak. It wasn't Neil Callan who was aboard back on the 9th of January when the horse had the door shut on him, but Neil will doubtless be aware that he doesn't want that happening again. So we shall see. Right, it's the Bahrain Derby, the last of the Crown Prince's Cup Festival. Let's get up to Darren with thanks.
The Bahrain Derby is upon us, sponsored by Bapco Energies, over 2,000 metres. Tomahawk goes in, the South China Sea moves into place. Stand by for the Derby. All in. They're off. Away they go for the Bapco Energy sponsored Bahrain Derby. In the centre is Barak, and right there Istanbul, the one on the wing. To the extreme right is Cosmic Power, and South China Sea is in the mix. Tomahawk and Dick Dastardly are the last 2. So they're making the run to the back straight, and the first turn in the race, the new leader is Cosmic Power. It's Cosmic Power by around about 3 lengths. Istanbul second, followed by South China Sea third, Al Adia Racing and Team Kubler 1, 2 and 3, followed by Tomahawk, then Barak, and Dick Dastardly is last of all. Less than 1,400 to go, and it is Benoit de la Sayette setting the pace aboard Cosmic Power, and establishes a very nice lead, a healthy advantage of around about 8 lengths at least over Istanbul, who's got the striped cap in second place. A length and a half away to South China Sea dark blue cap, dark blue and yellow silks of Tomahawk, ahead of Barak, and last of all is Dick Dastardly. So it is Cosmic Power, less than 1,000 metres from home in the Derby, with a 10-length lead at least over Istanbul, and then the other stable companion South China Sea. Tomahawk is on the inside running rail, followed by Barak, and Dick Dastardly is last of all. Now it's here that Cosmic Power comes under pressure now to try and maintain this advantage with 600 to go, but is still about 12 lengths clear. Turning in, Cosmic Power the leader. South China Sea is right alongside Istanbul. Barak is in the clear, then Tomahawk followed by Dick Dastardly, 400 out, and it's still Cosmic Power, but being reeled in by both Barak and South China Sea, the big players, and it's Barak who's got the gears. Barak has quickened on. Dick Dastardly now moves into second. Cosmic Power is next. South China Sea is well beaten, and heading towards the last 100 metres, it is Derby Glory for Barak and Neil Callan. Barak the winner. Second place goes to Dick Dastardly. Third, South China Sea, then Tomahawk, Cosmic Power and Istanbul. So victory there goes to Barak, who wins the Derby for Al Mohammedia Racing. Ali Abdul Majid, Neil Callan was an eye-catcher behind Phoenix, this horse. A few weeks ago, we're not getting the rub of the green. No mistake here, and by golly, did